Alright, well I want to play the game. It's been an hour, so I'm going to start here. Quintarius, haven't played this in a minute. Don't think I've ever played it in Standard. Surprised it's actually still in Standard, but apparently Standard is like 3-year chunks of cards at any one time, which is insane. So, Quintarius in Standard. The -3 is extremely random. I don't really like impulse, exiling the top card, draw things, which this likes to do, because you poke your opponent, or effectively steal 2 life from your opponent every time you cast an exiled spell, but those are extremely random, and if you get a sweeper when you don't want to cast it, and it's gone forever, it feels awful. Now, Discover's different from, like, just exiling it on the top, and you can play it for 1 turn cycle, because Discover can go to the hand, but so that, like, the -3 is fine here. But some of those impulse draw effects are just too random for me. It's just too random. You're going to exile cards that are going to be good later, but now they're gone forever, or that your answers line up not great. It's still card advantage, or ideally that would be the plan when you cast those things. I just, not too excited about them. Making a bunch of 3/2s is pretty nice. I mean, at this point, you do have Elspeth as a commander you could play, and it makes a much more threatening board state than Quintarius does, but you get some pretty interesting red cards you could play. A Braid, just more of this kind of effect is just good. At least in Standard, it seems like it is right now. But yeah, that's about it. Just red-white play cards until someone's dead deck. Yeah, I want to play the game. Alright, it's been an hour. We're doing a fast intro. I think I'll keep this. I mean, it is Yigra, right? I have time. You have to sack a food to target it, right? Yep. Let's go ahead and just get rid of that. The heck is this? Enters make a food. When you sack a food, make a 1/1. That is also a food token? Yeah, so you just keep looping food tokens. Alright, if I had this any turn earlier, we'd be really happy right now. So that's annoying. I could have just cast my commander here. That would have been pretty huge. That would have been really nice. Sacrifice another creature or artifact. 1, 2, 3, 3s, 4, 5. Alright. I refuse to believe my opponent has, whatever it's called. The 2-mana removal spell. Oh, come on. Come on! Give me a break. Wait a minute. Doesn't this surveil infinitely? That surveils infinitely, doesn't it? These are food tokens, you sack a food token, and you surveil one. Pretty sure that's infinite. Fortunately, I don't die to it, but my opponent does get to do that until they're satisfied with whatever's on top of their deck, I guess. But you don't have infinite cards, so... I'm pretty sure this is infinite. Till they find, I guess, a card they want. I don't know what that situation, like how long you do this for. Okay, can we just auto-yield? But you gotta be careful, right? I mean, it is a 60 card format. I don't know what they're looking for. But I'm sure my opponent does. That's interesting. They surveilled for a card and then cracked the clue token anyways. I don't know. Well, that would have killed me, had that been a part of the equation. Could do the 6-mana side of this. No, let's just do this side. I think I'm okay with this. Do I kill this? No, I have... There's no way they can kill me with some other random infinite nonsense. So I think we're just chilling. Phantom Train. Sacrifice another artifact or creature, put a counter on this. Wait, what? The only way to crew this is to sack creatures? Huh. Okay, well that's not the scariest thing to have just showed up there. Well, it is a creature, you know. I guess I'll send this. Another artifact or creature. So you have a spell here? Looks like they had a spell that targeted creatures. So I don't really know what they surveilled for, but I haven't been blown away with that turn where you could have effectively vampire tutored me. They didn't then proceed to like play this crazy game-ending spell or anything. I can play my commander. I can also just do this. I mean, it's an empty board. Can at least make them have a removal spell. And of course they have one. Yep, that's literally the 2-mana one I was talking about. Oh, kill the token? Please? Okay, that's fine. Never really care about the tokens. Okay. Lightning Helix. Cool. I suppose I'll just cast it. I want that land. Yeah, we're gonna Lightning Helix face. And then I'm gonna blow up the card that would effectively win the game. You have nothing? Wow. Really? Just nothing at all? Oh, okay. Shh. Do I interact with this? I don't know. Beseech the mirror. Okay. Well, we've already searched for... Well, I don't know. I mean, it could be anything. Is it a 1-minute spell? Like, did you get duress here? I don't know. Do I Banishing Light? Do I make my commander show up? Again, I'm not convinced I'm dead if Sephiroth untaps. They did just tutor up a card. Alright, let's go ahead and respect this. I have so much mana, I really just don't even need to cast the 6 side of this. I can just cast anything it finds anyways. Okay, this picks up the whatever the best thing is, I don't know. Really? That's the best thing here? Huh. Okay, well, I mean, my opponent says so. Parting Gust. This might be the turn I don't actually use the card I got. I think I should fumigate this. Feel like that's sensible. I mean, tutor and surveil spam, my opponent hasn't won the game. This does not have trample. Do I have a food token? Right, ward sack of food. There is no food token. The only way I can really make one is doing this. Alright, well, again, I can just do this again, so... Is there a second combo? Can we not have another combo, please? Oh, come on. Well, that's that then. Pretty sure I just lose here. Maybe not? They didn't have it? They just didn't have it? Okay, that's a bit unbelievable. Oh, that doesn't help. This could block... Oh, no, that doesn't work. Okay, so... Destroy target creature. I guess... This thing? I kind of like have to kill Ygra, I feel, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this. And then play a land. And then kill Ygra with the Screaming Nemesis. And make a bunch of rabbits? I don't really need to defend permanent with 3 or less. Screaming. Exile, reanimate. Exile this thing. Reanimate that. Quintarius is gonna die, but like, I think we're just sort of chilling. I could swing. I could just swing with this. No, we're just gonna hide behind it, right? Wait. What if I did swing with it? It's not blocking for Quintarius. It's like, it's just not blocking, right? Don't swing with it? Well, too late now. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, maybe swinging was wrong. Maybe it was wrong. Okay. I mean, the damage is showing up here, though. I've killed Ygra like 15 times. Whenever opponent loses life, you gain that much life. Okay. Sure. What a game. Wow. What a game. They didn't have mana to do the infinite combo the 25th time they cast Ygra. The reanimate one? The one that I tried to play was one of the 3 commanders I think I've ever played that didn't win a single game I played with it. I think Kavera was one of them. The mono black 3-drop. Oh, right. I forgot. Green still has dumb stuff it can do, even in Standard. Okay, so what does Iroh do in Standard? I have no idea. Oh, you mean the Spider-Man. Ah. Yeah. That is popular. Wait, what? What the? What? Return a permanent card. Okay. Yeah. I'm down. I'm down with it. Let's go ahead and whoop. Yeah, the Spider-Man one's pretty popular. Yeah, I could consider Rest in Peace. I can't say I ever expected Iroh as a thing in Standard. I'm kind of eager to see what it tries to do. I will just run this out. Yeah. We're gonna run it out. My first Spider-Man deck was that one? I believe it. Standard Iroh is Lesson Slop. Okay. Sure. I take it you don't cast it on turn 6, right? Or when you get to 6 mana, which is turn 2. Assuming you're a green player. I mean, it's not even doing anything out of the graveyard anyways, really. What lessons are scary? I'm actually really curious how it wins. I'm sure I'll find out real fast. Four damage to target creature. This isn't doing anything. So, exile target creature. This just isn't doing anything. I'm going to Parting Gust that. Bushwhack. Okay. Let's take out the removal spell. I don't really care about the ramp spells. They did not... Well, obviously, there's no fight to be had. Okay, we got a bunch of lands. Opponent's enduring the wrath of this 4/4. Do I play my commander? There is currently nothing in the graveyard Iroh cares about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say you play a land 7. Wait, that's not true. 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 8 mana. You have 2 left. None of this matters. None of that matters. Okay. I'm not convinced Iroh with 2 mana is winning the game. Nothing in the graveyard matters. I mean, you have a fight, which I can exile. Like, just casting a ramp spell. Permanent card from your graveyard. Okay, let's exile the fight. So I have to deal with it later. Is River's Rebuke a good solution here? I mean, that can just chill, right? Yeah, they can just chill. I don't even know if I'm supposed to cast the Ghost Vacuum right now. I feel like I'm just not. I really don't. Like, it's not even doing anything. You know what I mean? I'm not going to play into some weird counter spell. Though I don't think Iroh's looking to play counter spells. I haven't seen a win condition yet. I take it you just don't even cast Iroh unless you are ready to win. I don't know if a Consult is worth 8 mana. Maybe it is. Nope. Didn't think so. Okay. Uh-huh. Sure. Let's go ahead and... Now we can cast it. Sack a land. Okay, another lesson that involves mana. Okay. What are we doing here? What is the idea here? Pass the turn. There is nothing in the graveyard except maybe Consult, not even River's Rebuke, that I genuinely care about. Consult, again, I don't even really care about Consult here. Okay, opponent cares about something. Let's take the Consult. Yup. Okay. You can ramp? No? Flashback. I cannot bring myself to target this right now. I can't bring myself to target this. You can cast another ramp spell. I don't have it in me. I feel like there's going to be some kind of trap. I could just shelter by ghost. It changes the clock, the damage here. I don't know if that matters though. Do we have another forest? I'm sure we do, right? Yeah. No, we don't. We don't have another forest. They don't have another forest. Oh my goodness. They actually don't. That's so funny. I wouldn't say it's an oops. It just might as well. Well, they didn't crack the clue token. Yeah, maybe it's a bit of an oopsie. Alright, so I can... now what? I actually don't like anything here. I don't like anything. Guess I'm just doing this. Yeah, see, this is why I kind of wanted to use a sorcery speed answer, because I don't have another instant speed answer. It's like just why I wanted to do that. Oh, they had the forest in their hand. Okay, so there's 4 forests in their deck. Ureni. This deals damage equal to your lands to... oh, of course it does it to planeswalkers. Come on. Of course it does it to planeswalkers. I can reanimate that with Ghost Vacuum in 6 years. Yep. They're almost completely dead, but completely isn't totally dead, so... Archdruid's Charm, what is that even doing? Does that do anything for you here? You could just get rid of it. Iroh can cast it. They're dead if I draw land? Huh? Share with the class? Okay. How are they dead if I drew a land? Oh, reanimating my 3/3. So... Okay, wait. We just win. We just win. There's no way they don't crack the clue token. There's no way. Yes! Okay. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that... Nice. Alright, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, land reanimate would have done it. What? But this is in the way, though. Oh, no, it's not. I can't block it. Right? They just take a bajillion if they block it. Screaming Nemesis is... I think this is the best I've ever seen Screaming Nemesis. Every time I played it before, it doesn't really do anything. We have enough removal spells. I'm not gonna... well, we got a ramp spell here. Oh, look! On the play with the best thing in the game. Great. Sure glad I'm playing standard. I don't even have a red card. I can't even kill it next turn. I probably just lost. Well, that happens. Oh, they didn't use it. They didn't use it. I'm going to say it probably doesn't matter too much. Turn 3, Yuna on the play. In standard. During your turn, trample lifelink, word 2. That's just, I mean, okay, maybe this works out. It just doesn't feel like it works out, does it? Wow, are you serious? What? What just happened? Okay, what? Okay. How are we, like... What? What is happening? Oh, there's a return land? Oh, that's pretty nice. Alright, we tap our Lenorels first. Genius. Oh, wait, nope. Okay, we did it this way instead. Galaxy Brain. Really wish I had a red source. Apparently it's difficult to choose. I can't imagine why it's hard to figure out which land type. I would have also gotten a white source, so that makes sense to me. I don't know, they thought about it. Maybe they were just looking through their deck. That would be kind of weird, though. That'd be really weird. Enters mill 4, then put a land... okay. That is not an enchantment. You can still cast your commander. So they are just like super respecting my ability to sweep the board, which I don't have. I think that's what's going on here. I mean, the Ghost Vacuum is annoying, but it's not like game ending. I mean, to be fair, there's only 2 cards that could be something good with Yuna. One of them, at the very least, seems to be castable. Of course, I draw that. Do I lose the game if Quintarius just fizzles out? I don't think so. I can almost just cast it again as well. I'm not convinced I'm in a bad spot if Quintarius dies. In fact, I've had it die plenty and still won, so it's fine. I mean, do you have a removal spell? Like, is... Okay, we do? What is going on? This is so strange. Is there an aura? Like, removal spell aura to kill Quintarius? Those are your last 2 cards? You're never upset when your opponent dedicates resources to a token. Especially a Quintarius token. Make a 3/3. 3/3 has been made. That is the first enchantment we've seen. A bit crazy. Okay, we do have the Alpha Strike. I'm going to block something that's negligible. Because if there's a protection spell, which I think there is, it's really weird to use it on the greeter. Okay. And I don't care about Quintarius' loyalty. Let's take the dangerous spell. It's not like I'm making crazy creatures out of the stuff that's available. So, yeah, I'd rather not Sheltered by Ghosts. I would like to play this, and maybe I just can. It's not like I'm leaving anything up. This is probably so non-threatening to my opponent, though, honestly. Well, I didn't put it in my deck to not cast it, so... There it is. Bask in its glory, opponent. Look at that. We did it. Oh, the old thrumming door to nothingness. Okay, well, this is probably the first time in my entire life playing this game that someone just stone cold had nothing and wasn't willing to cast their commander. I mean, there were no enchantments other than this one. They probably kept their hand just because of Llanowar Elves, and I would too, because this is the best card in Standard Brawl. But I don't know. I mean, you can see how very quickly I would just lose this game if they untapped, played a 3-drop with this, or whatever, had a turn 3 Yuna into something crazy. But they just didn't do that. I don't think this hand's good. That airbending card has not done anything, unfortunately. Let's get rid of Shelter here. I think I'm getting rid of Shelter here. I like the double mana rocks. Kinda. Okay, this is a card I've never seen. Cast a non-creature spell. If it's 4, is there a counter on this? Can't be... Okay, sure. I don't know if you can hear the snow plow. The second time I've seen this card today. And, well, got nothing else to do. We're just doing the mono green thing here. Another card I haven't really ever seen before. Do we respect Spell Pierce? Yeah. Looks like an unsummon. Nope. Capital City. Okay. They didn't unsummon this on their turn. Okay. First, this perfectly kills my commander. Why not? Snare. I would like to really play that in a turn where I can, like... See if I plus... I have to ask... Yeah, I'm going to make them do that again. I'm going to make them do that again. This is okay. Quintarius hasn't done anything crazy this game. I'm not getting destroyed by having it get killed twice in a row here. I'm making my opponent do stuff about my cards. And those cards are simply tokens, which we love to see. Yeah, we'll take the trade. What does this do? Okay. Ghost Vacuum. There's still a 1-mana spell that they haven't cast yet. I really want to know what it is. I really don't know what it is. I don't know. It could be a protection spell, a phase out thingy. I dive down. There's a bunch of cards in this game I haven't seen really before. Call of the Spurgerer, sure. I will try to Stasis Snare. I think it's worth trying to Stasis Snare at least. Because if I don't know what else I'd be doing with Stasis Snare. Yeah, there's some kind of 1-mana protection spell, hexproof or something. That's what I'm convinced about at least. Oh, this doesn't kill my card. Okay, I'm still doing it though. It's the only thing I'm going to do this turn. I'm gonna fire it off right here. Make them cast that thing that we knew about. It is literally dive down. Alright, it was quite literally dive down. That didn't really seem to me like the worthwhile time to use that dive down, but I suppose I don't hate it. Because I do just simply get to deal with it anyways. Effectively on board as well. Okay, I have no cards in my hand. Kind of ugly. I'm not going to swing. I'll start swinging next turn with the Elspeth 0. I don't lose to River's Rebuke, right? No, I don't think so. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, make a 1/1 to draw from... Okay. let's go ahead and do the nummy wummies here. It's got flashback. Let's go ahead and... This is a 2-turn clock. I'm going to argue it's worth it. I'm going to argue this is worth it. And then just cast this. Can I do both sides right now? No. Not a big deal. I can cast anything that card finds. So they have to deal with my board. Substantially so. It's like just River's Rebuke in Standard. I don't know what else a blue-red deck can do here. I don't think there's another card that does it in blue-red in Standard. Okay, that certainly is not it. Steals with 1 token, I guess. I lose flying. So they take Elspeth. Have enough blockers to stay alive. Maybe there is something here. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, not enough. Not enough. But they did the right thing so far. Like in terms of dealing with stuff. They have something? Wait, what is this tap? I gotta read it now. Only cast non-creatures. Okay, it only taps for 1. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Oh, it kind of matters. It kind of matters. Yeah. Because it's another 2 damage if, for some reason, my opponent had the ability to stay alive here. Which I don't think they can. No, they would go to... Oh, they messed up! Oh no, you can't use the token to block. Yeah, because if you tap this, then you have the token, but you don't have the 7/3 to block, so it didn't matter. But even, let's say they did survive by the skin of their teeth, I would have another 2 damage from this card. With aggro. Where like your opener is like super random, and if you have like a good one, it's so much different from a not great one relative to like a control deck that has a bad opener is not as bad as the gap between the two is just way smaller. Let's do that. I think I have to immediately cast something on this card. Is Tifa a beatdown thing, or is it just like a bait ramp deck in Standard? It could probably go both ways. I'm sure there's enough ways to kill people with Tifa in Standard. I don't think I've seen it before, though. I don't think so. Maybe I have, and I'm just dumb. We've been there before. Me just not knowing how the game works. Anything is possible. Escape Tunnel is power 2 or less. You can target Tifa and then grow it. I'm really just hoping Tifa is the game plan here. Because I can just make it annoying to accomplish. It feels like so far that it is... No, actually, yeah, no, not yet. I don't know yet. I still don't know. It could be... Tifa doesn't matter. I have a bunch of 6-drops. They are cracking the escape tunnel, though. They're not holding it for Tifa. We just cast this, right? Yeah. I can swing, I think? Sure. I highly doubt Clifftop Lookout is swinging this turn. Oh, they could play Ouroboros, and then it actually could swing. Though that wouldn't... I would not be blocking it if that was the case. Are we not leaving up mana? Okay, we are. I was about to say, you probably have to, right? Okay, they don't actually seem to have anything. Huh. Alright, well, we can pick that up. It's not like it has haste. Unless, of course, it does. Exile any number of target cards from your graveyard. Add red for each card. Don't think this is the ultimate Quintarius situation that we've found ourselves thinking maybe it is. Okay, this is good. That's good. Now that's not a problem to be grown with this. Can I now just... Nah, just pass. Just pass. Sure. Overlord of Spaghetti. I almost want to go face this Lightning Helix, actually. But we're winning on board so much that I just don't... I'm not worried about that. I can now ultimate Quintarius. Can do that. Maybe I should. Haven't done it yet. Yeah, why not? Seems cool. Wait. Wait. Hold on. Let's use our brain. Let's use our brain. We have one of those, I promise. I can use it sometimes. Despite, swing. And then just kill. Okay. I didn't actually have to cast to get lost there, but you know what? It felt good. Okay, well, that's what happens when your opponent doesn't apply pressure. It just goes out of control pretty quickly here. Or whatever the card is that it's chemically impossible for me to remember the name of for some reason. Tiny Bones. Do I care about that? Not really. Deals combat damage, you may cast... No, I don't. I don't care about that. This could end up actually mattering. I'm going to keep that on top. I'm going to assume this game lasts 10 years. That's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to behave. They milled one creature, and it is a I discard when it's played card. Cool. Let's, pass. They just chose not to cast the discard spell first. Seems like a mistake. Don't really know why they did that. Let's go ahead and Helix this. I can get rid of a land. I'd probably get rid of Burst Lightning, honestly. It's not sold that it's doing anything meaningful. I should exile this. Should exile that. This is rather annoying. And if... Yeah, that's just fine. That's fine by me. It's as fine as it is. Like, opponent's commander does, like, win when it does the thing it wants to do. I almost thought about not casting this because there's nothing else my opponent's doing. So, but that's not what I chose. They paid life for my engine, haha, that I totally use. Really? You just have nothing? Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. I made a 3-2. Bask. Bask in its glory. Do we just spam zombies? Well, I suppose I would spam zombies, so... Those are flyers. Though that does kind of matter. I'd say this kind of matters here, so... What do you do against that? I don't have a good Quintarius ultimate. I mean, I could burn Liliana. That doesn't really feel that exciting, though. There's not really any proliferate. But yeah, if it -9s, I do lose a game. Okay, I'm not sure why they had to think about that. I feel like that's extremely straightforward and obvious as a line to take. I don't really get it. Okay, whenever this enters non-land permanent... Alright, this is good. This is exactly what we needed. So I can deal with Liliana, and then I can airbend that at some point. Assuming they don't. Yeah, okay. That's what we were just hoping for there. I can pick that up and do it again. Okay, I think they just drew that? No, they drew the land. They drew the land. Removal spell in the 3-2. That would mean they're scared of the Quintarius ultimate. Okay, now there's not much of a reason to be... actually, I'm going to kill that. Yeah. I don't want them interacting with my graveyard. Create a 1/1 spirit token that can't be blocked. Okay. Oh, that's really tragic. Alright. Can't have everything, I suppose. So let's, should send it while I have it? Should send it while I have it. I don't think there's much of a reason not to do this, so... Let's lightning strike face. Burst lightning. That. Alright, that was a boatload of damage that just came out of complete nowhere. This has... I'm not there yet. Let's get a mountain, I think. Alright, so we have the Overlord showing up. If Quintarius dies, it resets the loyalty. So it's in those weird spots where you don't want it to die. Or the opponent doesn't want it to die, I mean. They can cast their commander and minus it. This feels like a really bad use of Liliana, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, fair enough. It's effectively the same, except you're not messing up your commander's loyalty or whatever. Ride's End. This is when it attacks. Most life or tie for the most life. Destroy target. I'm just going to kill that. I don't care. I'm just going to get rid of it. Not going to think about it. So you got to deal with this board. Maybe there was a reason to not deal with it, because they have to deal with the board anyways. Well, they would have drew a card. They would have drew a card there. Killing their commander is just weird, because it just shows up again with more loyalty. That just seems wrong. Destroy target creature an opponent controls. Okay, I have to kill that. Which is annoying. I suppose I don't have to cast anything that kills it right away? Why are you casting Phyrexian Arena? What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna kill this right away. Which feels awful. Oh, come on. Come on. Suplex. I shall exile you or that thing. Plus? Make a 3-2? No, I'm just gonna blitz your health pool. Now you have to, like... Now you can't even kill Quintarius. You can't kill Quintarius because I can cast it again and discover. You cannot kill it. You have to go face. No, opponent, I can just recast it. You have to... No, now you have to gain life. Now you gotta gain life. They know what it does. I mean, they saw it do it like 10 times this game. Yeah, I don't know about that arena, but I guess you had no cards in your hand. You just had to do what you had to do. Okay. I think they see the writing on the wall there. They should not have killed it. They just shouldn't have killed it. You know, they're just chilling. I think my opponent's just like kind of chilling if Quintarius didn't die. The only reason I killed it myself is so I could cast it again and do 2 damage. So I don't really know if I mean, it's obviously wrong to kill it. That's how you're losing. And the 3/2s don't matter. So this happens a lot, actually. I'd say this happens very often, where someone has a commander that is a planeswalker. It's at like 1 loyalty, and your opponent's like, "I'll just kill it." Well, don't. You know, all it can do is plus. You don't care about the 3/2s. I mean, I'm at 35. If ever your creatures die, you draw with Liliana. So the 3/2s in play are actually kind of benefiting you. In fact, I probably wouldn't even block them. Alright, if this is rabbits, we're not too upset here. Unless we don't draw lands, then I guess, you know, nothing mattered anyways. Alright, they played their land really fast. They have the Ajani profile. I must mean it's rabbits. This is starting profile. Well, this isn't the automatic starting basic land. And they didn't snap off a rabbit. Alright, I don't know what's going on. Alright, not rabbits. That was too much into my own head. What does this do? Enters make a 1/1, but it doesn't flash. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Well, I got rid of this thinking it was rabbits. I kind of would have liked this get lost here. To a degree. I mean, I was still looking for lands. Still, arguably, am looking for lands. I really do not want to cast Wrath next turn. I was going to say cast Wrath tomorrow. I was going to say tomorrow. Funny. Well, I'd like it for my opponent to, like, not have self-replacing dumb things. You know what? Let's do this. This is a low commitment. Makes my opponent feel like I don't have much else going on. They play more to the board. We have the Wrath still. And I don't lose my Overlord. Everything works as good as it needs to. Yep, that's quite literally what's going on here. I can block these, right? Because these are... Yeah, I can block these. Okay. I think this is always worth sweeping, as much as I would like to cast Elspeth. I think this is just too good. Could be wrong, but it does set me... No, it doesn't set me up for that. Doesn't set me up for that. Alright, I'm gonna take the time to just boop. I don't need the 1/1s, so just get rid of this. I'm getting rid of my commander, my opponent's commander, for a significant amount of time here. Very significant amount of time. Well, they could reanimate it. Okay, they don't have that, I guess. Like, this is just out of the way for years now. Solemn Golem. Wow. Oh, yeah, it works with Delny. It offsets the years argument I just had. Yeah, let's make Quintarius a thing. Start making tokens. It is a double token situation. I don't know if they can beat an actual opposing board. Maybe they can. They're not rabbits. Although rabbits can also beat an opposing board, even with Delny, not just Elspeth. We shall see. How do they come back onto the board? They have to do it very quickly. Like, right now, I mean. Alright, that's stuff, sure. Sure. I think I'm gonna plus. That way, if I minus this again next turn, I don't lose it forever. Okay, yeah. I mean, look at the boards. I could probably just do these pluses for the rest of the game and not anything else. Like, I just have these pluses and no spells and probably still win. Do I just kill this straight up? Whenever this attacks, you may move the lore counter. I probably do. I think I played against this. Yeah, remember we played against this before, and it like we played all the way to turn like 200, and I finally won when they ran out of stuff. I think that's how it... No, they played that weird mono-white thing and won with it. I can't remember what it was. I just ran out of stuff. Alright, well, back to this. I need to draw lands. Yet again. Enduring Innocence. Well, I drew a land. Look at that. World first. I suppose I just let them cast their commander and sweep the board? I can exile the Enduring Innocence before it does anything. I guess. Well, it comes back. Before it comes back, I'm saying. Yeah. So... Opponent kept their commander in the graveyard. So I guess it's coming back. If I exiled it, they just move it to the command zone. It's not a permanent answer or anything. Well, you feel like you only have one line, because you kept your commander in the graveyard for a reason. Okay, I'm not privy to that reason yet. I'm not gonna make a move on it. I can target it when they go to reanimate it now. I did not have that ability last time. Starting with you, each player chooses up to one permanent. Starting with you, each player chooses up to one permanent with mana value 3 or less. Okay. Mana value 3 or greater. Okay. That's a little weird. I like it. Confused me greatly, but I figured it out. So here in Overlord, seems a little weird to have sweepers in a deck like this, but anything's possible, I guess. I really like the idea of drawing 3, especially when my opponent is overloaded with cards. I think this second part benefits me greatly. Okay, they just said no, which I would also say no. What else does this do? Return this transformed. Okay. Yep, go figure. Exile spam against tokens. Amazing. Okay. You have fight effects in your deck? What? Is that what this is? How do you have fight effects in a deck like this? What do you... I mean, by all means, have fight effects, please. Remove a lore counter. Put a lore counter in a fight was the goofiest thing ever, but okay. Sure. Okay. Whenever you cast your second... Okay, let's not deal with that, I guess. Apparently we're doing nothing at all. Alright. I guess they lost their commander. They tried to reanimate it, forgot about the ghost vacuum. I'm not sure. But the lore counters... Like, sagas aren't things that stick around forever. And Garnet does a good job at making them stick around forever. I don't think I've ever seen this card in my life, by the way. But it's in the graveyard. Even if they cast it again, I can kill it, right? It would have died to the sweeper. It would have been hard to stick the commander and sagas at the same time. My opponent could have maybe pivoted into earthbending. We saw that work against me earlier, where they did literally nothing except make earthbend tokens with this thing. And eventually I ran out of answers and died. So this is a bad thing to play against. It's probably beatable, you know. It's not looking great here. Do you actually keep it if you're exiling them? Or is put into exile, of course. So I can't even exile the lands. And then they have a Gavany Township. So it's weird to play these cards and then just decide it isn't even worth trying to win with them, right? Why? You just playing them for the sake of having value lands that you just choose not to use? I don't understand. But yeah, they're not going to have a graveyard. The commander, again, probably should have went to the command zone. I don't know. Like trying to bait me on a ghost vacuum activation when you target it to reanimate it or something. Seems weird. But again, the 2/2 can be dealt with over and over. The earthbent lands... a little bit of a problem, but to be fair, I actually do have this, and this can just block for days, especially with the 3/2s. So, like, I can make a lot of tokens that block fairly efficiently, and that might not be the right avenue. It's also a lot of mana to activate both of these, like basically your whole turn. Let me have a swig of water so I don't... Oh, the water's too far. Oh no, I have to get up. Alright, well, there goes that. We're going in raw. Alright, so there's a lot of graveyard-based things going on in Standard, it seems, which is a bit surprising, but I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised, having not played a lot of Standard. It probably won't make it to YouTube, but I tried Momo a second ago. Did I delete it? No, I didn't. I tried this first, and it pummeled me every time I saw it in Standard. Just play a Momo, then you play a Hawk, and then you play another Hawk, and then you play another... You have all the weird, goofy anthem effects. This just didn't work out at all. Everything I tried to do was so perfectly answered, it blows my mind that this beat me. Twice, the 2 times I saw it. It felt like I was just getting totally ignored, and my opponent was just doing what they wanted to do. But when I did it, everything I went to do was completely and utterly answered. To make me believe this is just awful. Sweepers were never going to be a good thing to play against. But still, it just seemed like I wasn't beating anything. Surprised me. So either I was playing it wrong, or I don't know. It's like Heir Apparent, right? Those one-dimensional decks, they are what they are. But anyways, so Quintarius liked Graveyard Hate. There seemed to be a lot of graveyard-based things going on. I don't know if I like Rest in Peace. You know, you do have a -6 here that likes your own cards in the graveyard, even if you don't have much to do with those cards. I really wish this gave you more mana to play with the minus. I'm kind of surprised it doesn't. Like, you get a red and a white per spell that is exiled. there's definitely some kind of storm degenerate thing you could do, but I don't think 1 or 2 mana would change the storm thing you're going to do. But I really think it would have been fine if it gave you a red and a white for each spell. But having 1 red every time I -6'd was enough, right? I did not need a bunch of mana. 1 red per spell was enough to do whatever I wanted to do with the added assistance of my lands. I did not think, or yeah, I don't think I would ever really, if I could help it at least, -6 this, and then this is dead, because it -6'd itself. So really doing it when it's at least at 7 or something seemed to be a better idea. Every time I could have -6'd it, I could have also -6'd it when it was at 7, so I could just wait a turn. And you probably always should, because the static ability on this is really good when you cast a bunch of spells out of your graveyard, right? That could be how you win the game, just all that damage. This is a damage-based deck that wins with damage. That damage doesn't necessarily have to happen. You don't have to, like, do the last 2 points of damage, but the 3/2s will start to add up, and then stuff like Overlord or Elspeth making 1,000,000 tokens. Your opponent could just concede, but there's lethal damage in play or whatever. But you are winning with damage. It's not like Teferi, where you just win with Teferi. You just win, with no damage dealing spells in your deck at all. And Teferi can win. That is not the case here. Screaming Nemesis has been disappointing me every time I played it until today. This is the first time I've really liked it, and man, was it scary. Every time it was in a game, my opponent probably wished it was not in that game. The exile effects, the O-rings, are really good. There's a lot of commanders that you benefit O-ringing as opposed to not O-ringing them, just simply destroying. I mean, just even indestructible commanders like Kodos or whatever. Airbending those O-rings when they target your opponent's commander is nice, because you can do it again, assuming they didn't leave it under the O-ring effect. Fiend Hunter effects, I've gone in great length explaining why I think they are just awful. Every single time I have ever put something under Fiend Hunter, or in this universe, I suppose it would be Werefox, they don't care. No one cares. They just let it stay under that, and they'll just kill the creature, and they're back to where they were. No one ever cares about your O-rings if they're on creatures. These just don't work. Unless you can exile your own cards and then have an ETB or use them to protect your own stuff or something. No one cares when you Fiend Hunter your opponent's when their own creatures or whatever. So, or your opponent's creatures. So, The mana rocks are alright. Buried Treasure is fine enough, getting Quintarius out faster, or whatever it is you're trying to do. You could probably play more mana rocks. In fact, I think a lot of Quintarius decks I see play a bit more than this. I wasn't too upset with this amount, but you could play more. I'm not a big fan of anything that costs more than 2 as a mana rock, and this is standard, so, But you could play more if you wanted them. I know there's the ones that, we were just talking about the Momo ones, the Anthem ones, the ones you can name red as a color and they get larger, or Spirit as a type, and then your spirits are 4/3s. That's kind of cool, I guess. They're not totally unreasonable. I don't really know what I would take out. There's plenty of removal. You could probably completely and utterly remove Thrumming Hive Pool. I was struggling to find anything that cost more than 5 that I was happy with, other than the Overlords. I tried this. I tried, what else did I try? Well, whatever else I tried, I don't remember, because it probably didn't do anything. Ujin is somewhat interesting. You could definitely play more colorless cards, right? Even going into the mana rock department, which you probably would really want to, and you're trying to play Ujin every game. So you could play more colorless ramp spells that trigger Ujin and simply help you cast Ujin and all the other things in the first place. That's interesting there. But yeah, I don't think Rest in Peace is great. I'm not sure I'm convinced about that one. There's more than just Burst Lightning. You can play Shock. There's a bunch of 1 mana, deal 3 damage to an attacking creature. There's all those kinds of things. Those are neat, but I have sweepers, so it's weird to have a bunch of spot removal and also a bunch of sweepers, because you're sitting there with spot removal and you're like, do I cast it, or do I just wait till after? and cast them after I've swept the board the first time. Barring there isn't something like a turn 1 on the play Llanowar Elves, and then, you'd probably have to kill it every single time, or I would recommend you do it if you can. It is, in my opinion, and still held by me, that Llanowar Elves is the best card in Standard right now for this format. Maybe not in normal Standard, but Standard Brawl, Llanowar Elves is absolutely the best card. It's probably not even close. It's probably not even remotely close. Whatever the second best card is. Guess you could be vague enough and say it's always top 5 as long as it's legal. So Shelter is really only good on my tokens, and that's okay. I don't hate that, right? If you lose your token in response to this targeting your token, you're not too upset, as opposed to targeting something like Screaming Nemesis, because then you lose your Nemesis and this, you get 2-for-1s. But when you lose your token, it's like, whatever. You could play another removal spell, I guess, instead, that doesn't demand you have a creature. But I never felt like that was in the way. I had so much other removal that, like, I wasn't really bothered by that. And then you have a 4/2 lifelink with Ward 2. That's kind of cool. Or, I guess, Screaming Nemesis or something else that could randomly have it attached to it. But, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's just O-Rings, spot removal, one Airbend card that I could sort of justify. The rest of them I didn't really like. I'm not even 100% on this one, but the O-Rings bouncing is actually kind of nice. The mana rocks are cool. The burn spells are alright. That's it. There's a lot of redundancy here. A lot of the cards do the same thing, which is good. It's extremely consistent. In the red-white, whatever this is, has a lot of options in Standard, and it looks like we're going to have even more come the next set that comes out in a couple days. So, but that's that. I'm a huge fan of Quintarius. I think it's a cool commander. This is my way of playing it. I don't think I've ever played a creature-heavy version, but that's probably what most people would likely pivot to first. Just a bunch of 2, 3, 4 mana value creatures and doing whatever Jund is trying to do, but in red-white, some red-white mid-range creature beatdown thing. But, yep, that's that. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.